There has not been any fissure so far in the MAGA actual base other than this issue. The tariffs, some of the elite business leaders care, but the people who voted for Donald Trump, this is the first issue that ordinary voters feel betrayed. There are about a third of MAGA voters who voted for him because he said, I'm not going to get into any foreign wars, and I'm not going to have your jobs go offshore. That we've had too much focus on jobs going offshore, wars offshore. I'm going to focus on America. And so the most obvious thing for the Democratic Party should have been to stand in unison and saying, we are the party of peace. We're the party that's going to be for peace abroad and jobs at home. And then funded with for every.
But maybe the Democratic Party hasn't done that because it's not the anti-war party or pro-peace party. That's the problem.
But there are large parts of the party that are. And the parts of the party that aren't should be sidelined. I thought they were defeated. Look, I thought after Obama ran in the Iraq War, that anyone who was cheerleading for the Iraq War would be sidelined for the party. And then you see that Brett McGurk is still on CNN. Like, we put
Middle East guy.
He puts Brett McGurk on television, other than to ask him, why have you been wrong about every major foreign policy decision for the last 20 years? And they're pine about what is it? And then he's cheerleading for Trump on Iran. I mean, the reality is that the Democratic Party has to stop being as polite. We don't have to be engaged in the politics of personal insult. We don't have to be engaged in the politics of personal destruction. But we do have to be engaged in a politics of principle, in a politics of conviction. And we can't put civility and manners and being part of the club over a conviction of standing up for peace and calling out policies that have failed in this country, calling out the strikes in Libya, calling out this war in Yemen, calling out the unconstitutional strikes in Iran, calling out the betrayal that NAFTA was to the working class, calling out the betrayal that China's ascension to the World Trade Organization was for the working class. Part of the problem of the Democratic Party is we're too afraid to criticize the status quo because we're too afraid of offending people in our own party who are responsible for the status quo. We're never going to win until we start speaking the truth.